Okay. All right. So it's Wednesday, hump day, or Trump day, as you might say. It's Trump day. Kidding me? Wow. What a morning. So we have been aiming for the stars here. 2400, of course, was the next level, possibly. And lo and behold, they have really pushed it for this. Just a lack of sellers all around. Haven't even seen much profit taking since it started. So um, let's just review here. We opened after one time framing up in the overnight. Um, play was long. I drew this as a balance area for possible, support, and sure enough, to the tick, it got support all right, a lot quicker than I anticipated. This would have been a great trade to take opening range. The opening range, first couple minutes, was between 83 and 81.25, but it was an open test and drive. Effectually one tick, an open and drive. Open and went. And once we had a poor high with the overnight, took the overnight high. So there were several opportunities. I don't think there was much. There wasn't. I'd have to look at a much smaller time frame to see. Of course, I wasn't wanting to take this. However, I should have. This on days like this, I think I'm going to revise my policy on. We got a double-digit gap, like we had this morning. That's a lot of oomph. Oftentimes it's just the inclination to say, all right, well, they're going to give it back. But that's a fallacy, to think, oh, it can't go higher. Oh, and not that I was thinking that per se, but you do have a little bit of a, okay, it's a little bit risky because it seems like it's, needs to breathe for a minute. But interestingly, the market did have a pause right before the open. Had a pause right here in W. So it balanced, went up. That was another very bullish sign. But we had an opportunity here for the opening range coincided with the poor high with the overnight. So you could have taken a breakout of the opening range, or once it had taken the poor high and the overnight high, just have the stop back in here below the open, 5 ticks. Now that would have been incredible. I didn't do that. I wish I would have. The next opportunity would have been, let me see, I don't know if I've got I think I do. Let me, I've got a circle. Let me see if I can use this. I'll just use an arrow, see how those work. So, once again, entry right here, a break of the opening range, stop back here. I'll just make a line for the stop right there, or the low. So 1 or 2 points. The next trade would have been, we opened in the top, gosh, it looks like the top 5% or 10% of A. But anyway, the top third, top 20%, top 25% of A, we opened in B period. Didn't hardly come back at all. It was basically an open test and drive. But once it formed a poor high, this could have been a breakout trade. Place for a stop could have been use the B low, or you could have used just below halfway of A, or an arbitrary money stop. Next trade, okay, C balance, and I wouldn't have necessarily wanted to short this, but at any rate, let me just back up for a second. C came down, traded down, open here, traded down. Let me make these bigger. We're going to get to where we are here in just a minute. There we go. Okay. So C opened up here in the top part of B, but didn't take the high. Traded down. This wouldn't be my trade. I'd be thinking it might come further. Of course, you're always thinking it could keep going, but yeah, I didn't like it, but that was another opportunity to go long at the A high. Okay, that's still not the initial balance high, which is, for me, a good support or resistance area. So we got the pioneer range formed here in B. C was an inside bar. D opened up here on top of C, and we're now one time framing up through the overnight into the open. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering here a little bit. Need a cup of coffee. I'll put the trades over here and the stop losses over there. So a lot of times in one time framing up, about halfway down, you'll find support of the previous TPO. And this was 2 ticks above, so if you had a limit there at just above half back, you wouldn't have gotten filled. But that's a potential opportunity now that you didn't get filled to realize, hey, this is strong. So when it comes back up here through the top, here's the trade. You got to break to the upside. Now I'm not a lover of breakout trading, but in this case, you're just trading the break of the prior 30-minute bar, not necessarily consolidation period per se. Although in that 30 minutes, it could have gone sideways a long time, like on a 5-minute bar or something. So anyway, to each their own and their style. Too much time has passed now for me to remember the exact price action in here. But here's a breakout. Stop could be back here to below half or anything below. Back below the A high. That's way too rich for my blood, but even this is a little more than I like to risk because there's far many. If you're just patient, and I'm speaking to myself, I use you in the royal sense of the word. If we let's say that if we are just patient, we can find. And believe me, I'm not always the most patient. We can wait and get that opportunity that is got the great structural stop, okay, where you know that if it goes 2 or 3 ticks that way, the trade's off. You're wrong. Scratch. You're done. What you were trading is no longer. It ceased to be. It's gone to the great. Okay. Anyway, waxing Monty Python there. All right. So D comes up, and now we've got a double distribution to the upside, okay? Right here in E, when E opens up, got a double distribution to the upside. Another opportunity for a break of a poor high. Now it pulls back and does not get to half back either, okay? Again, this is the same dynamic that we saw in D versus C period. So once it come down to, now I have to tell you that I got stopped out here. But well, I don't have to tell you that. I'm just telling you I tried this, but it ticked up one and came back, and my stop was too tight on this particular one I'm telling you about. Let's see here. So this is telling us it's bullish. We got a double distribution, massive gap up that doesn't seem to want to fill. We should go with these gaps when they're like this, and we need to quench any of those feelings of like, oh, it can't go any higher. Well, where's the market trying to go? We're at 2390 something. We're trying to go to 2400. That's the next psychological level. In fact, 2399 is sort of the, we all have that in our mind. Like you don't buy things for $100, you buy them for $99.99. You don't buy things for $10, you buy them for $9.99. So it's the same idea, I think. So 2400 is veritably 23.99 for the moment. And I think when we approached 22.99, we had the same action before we actually took 2300. I have to look back and see. So let me erase this one. This was a trade. When it did come up, you saw the volume over here building. So that was a place to get long again. Stay on board. Once again, same. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is where we were, right here. I'd move my chart. Okay. Now when F opened up was open drive. It didn't even come back into D. So now we've got another distribution. Three distributions. Here was the other opportunity. And again, these are not in crude oil or some other market. Breaking through a poor high is usually get quite a pop. The ES is just notoriously not a breakout market in my book. Okay, in my book, I'm sure they're there. Some people maybe that's all they trade and they're very successful, but there's so many fake outs and things, right? So it's hard. But this is a raging uptrend, is what I classify it as. So when F opened up, now this might have been harder to take as well because E seemed to kind of breathe a little bit. It wasn't a very big range. But anyway, so F, and I had walked away at this point. I wasn't in this or anything. Should have been, but I wasn't. I'd gone to do something else for a minute, and came all the way up here, almost to 23.99. Right now we have a good high. 5 ticks is a pretty good high. Will we take it? I don't know. Maybe. The VPOC has now moved all the way up here, so we are really finding price acceptance up here. Forming a balance. I drew a balance area on a let's see, just a 10-minute chart here. Okay, just from the high down to the swing low, and we had this dip below. So this was in, I think, I period. This would have been a nice buy, but I was on a call with somebody. Like this H or I right here where it ticked below and came back in. It's probably going to come back up here and test the high here, but I don't know. So going forward, now let's review back. What was I thinking in the early morning? We had these distributions in the overnight, and if is the operative word, if we were to get back in here, we could possibly have consolidated or moved slowly to the downside, not even close the gap even, but we had these areas to kind of fill in. Well, that never happened. So this is important to carry forward over the next couple days to even to the end of next week if we get back down here. Because if you remember, we had a gap back on 2.2 or 2.9 or maybe both that didn't get filled until just a couple days. Well, I have those days consolidated together. Okay, I'm going to not do that in the video. I'll look back later. You can look back on your own charts. Okay, so right now we've got HIG, this low that's held 2 or 3 times. You can see the auction process, and 75 contracts traded down there versus 1,500 to 3,100. So we've got attenuation here. We've got a P shape forming in the volume on this TPO. Odds are higher. So in 3 minutes, we are probably going to move to the upside. Now, where will it test back down to? Half back of I low. Will we even get a break below another tick or two? Just have to watch and see what happens. So that's where we are. So right now, still plays to the upside. Does seem to be catching its breath. If the VPOC was way down below, I would say look for a liquidation later on this afternoon. We only have 2 hours left, basically. I guess the highest odds of things happening, I think, are that we get a very late liquidation in like L or M period. My M period is like 3:30 to 4 o'clock. Or not much one at all. So let me throw a fib on here and see where we might break to. And then I'll wrap up the video. I don't know, is anybody even in here? Okay, one person. God bless you. Okay, it's all right. I've learned to kind of just talk like I'm making a recording anyway, so I don't need a live audience. The articulating it that helped me. Okay, so the 38% is way down here. So I'm going to guess this is like 23.6. Let's check. Oh, lost it. How about that? All right, so we've stayed above the 23.6. I'm going to say a break below that is bearish. So we want to watch the HI low for any downside. But we could find support right here at 38. 38.2% right in this little area. I'm actually going to draw a little buy zone there. Not that I want to buy it, but I just want to know where to have to get out if I'm short. I don't know that I'm going to want to buy it because a long liquidation break on a day like today could rage. So where's my little thing? All right, I'm kind of just sorting it out in my mind, so I tend to vacillate a little bit. So like right here to the F low, I'll make that blue. Little catch zone, possible buy area. Then of course, from the initial bounce high up to the half back of the day's range, 50%. All right, I don't know what happened there. Okay, that's the next one. Then the old 618. I'm going to break this into two. I'm going to go from the D low to just the C open, D open. Now let's make it the C. No, wait. Yeah, the C open. I'm just going to make it I'm going to make a top of this little volume edge right there. That's my next little stopper. So I'll have these in place just in case if I do get long, I might want to put a tight stop down here, or if I get long in here, a stop below here. This just helps me keep track. If I got long here, okay, maybe below the E low. Might have been better to like this from the F low down to the E low, make it a bigger range, but trying to tighten it up a little bit. And then, of course, if we come down and we don't close the gap, but almost do, we could see a retracement down to, actually, let me get this way. A back. Okay. Is bigger. Let's say, oh, that's way down there, isn't it? 83.75 to, it's 2 points. It's okay. The 2 points. All right. So those are my nets to where my trampolines, let's say. Let's hope they're trampolines. If I end up buying a break, it might be where it is. Right now, okay, J open, traded down to a tick below the I open, half back, but it looks like they're going to try to make a push down again. All right, so that's enough for now. Hope you're having a great day. Don't take it all too seriously. Don't take it too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. It just we're just doing our jobs. All right. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.